7 ways for you to get a return on failure. And I'm going to teach you that on today's podcast. So grab that pen, grab that paper. Let's get to work because this is one that is going to give you a lot of breakthroughs because failure is something that we're going to do to get to the top. Like they've always taught us, we got to fail our way to the top. So let's get started with the first way to get a return on failure. Number one, we got to keep failure and success together. What does that mean? You got to think about this real quick. Just because you fail at something doesn't mean that you got to let it get the best of you. And just because you succeed doesn't mean that you got to get too up on that success. Okay. You have to be the individual that keeps failure and success together. You can't go too up, you can't go too low. You kind of have to keep that balance in between. Right? You can't let yourself go too high or too low because if you do, then that's when the failures will get the best of you. And if you get too high, then the success will get the best of you. You got to keep failure and success together. You got to allow them to teach you the lessons that they're going to teach you. And also understanding that the only way to really learn is when you really fail. Okay. But you can also learn a lot from when you succeed because you can learn what were the things that you did to succeed. What were the strategies that you leveraged to put yourself in the position that you are currently in right now? So, keeping success and failure together is a very valuable strategy that a lot of the most successful leaders and entrepreneurs and business owners from all around the world are leveraging as you realize, some of our most the people that we look up to, our role models, individuals that we follow, you ever realize them? They never get too high, they never get too low. They're always like in that middle area. And the reason for it is because they're keeping success and failure together. And it's so important that you do that. So that's number one. Keep failure and success together. Never get too high, never get too low. That's very, very valuable, right? Because you never want to do that. All right. Number two, this is one of my favorites. Understanding the difference between good misses and bad misses. You want to give a return on failure, you got to understand the difference, okay? Now, what is the difference between a good miss and a bad miss? Well, let's talk about it, right? Let's give you guys a couple examples. Let's say I make a goal. I set a goal, I want to close 20 deals in the month of June. Okay, I want to close 20 deals for my business in the month of June. All right. I go out in the month of June and I only close 2 deals. Is that a good miss or is that a bad miss? You guys can answer that question for me. We all know that's a bad miss. We set a goal to close 20 deals. We only close 2 deals. It's a bad miss. Okay. Now we set the same goal to hit 20 deals, to close 20 deals. And let's say we close 17, 18 of those deals. Okay, that's a good miss. We missed by just a little bit. All right. So you got to understand the difference between those two. And it's not just understanding the difference, but why it happened. Why did you get only 2 out of 20 that month? Was it your lack of marketing? Was it your inability to stay consistent with a routine? Was it your marketing strategy? Okay. Was it the questions that you were asking while you were closing the deals? Or maybe it was just one of those months, right? I've had months where I did everything right and still things didn't work in my favor. And then I had months where everybody I talked to says yes and was ready to join my business. You just never really know, what kind of month it is, but all you can do is look to fill in those holes, look to fill in those different areas in your life where you got to work on so you can understand the difference between, the good miss and the bad miss. Because successful people, they adjust their way to success. It's part of the game. Not every month you're going to be good, right? Look at professional athletes. They don't always have a good, for basketball players, they don't always have a good shooting day. Baseball players don't always have the best at bats. For pitchers, they don't always have the best outings. When you play all these different sports, you're always not at your best. You're going to have days that it's not going to be your day. But it's about making adjustments. Professionals adjust. Okay. And understand this. This is very key. You determine your misses based off how you respond to it. Okay. Don't let your misses get the best of you. It goes back to number one on how to get a return on failure. Okay, keep success and failure together. If you have a bad month, remember, don't react to it. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Respond to it. Okay, because when you react, you lose. When you respond, you win. Nano, give me the difference. What do you mean? Well, I had a bad month. Let's say I have a bad month. I let this bad month get the best of me. Okay, I get down on myself. I start to doubt myself. I start to think that I can't be that person anymore. I start to believe that everybody I talk to is going to tell me no. Okay, I let this one bad month, destroy my confidence, destroy my belief, destroy my ability to see my vision. That's having a bad month and then letting it get the best of you. Okay, that's reacting. But let's say I have a bad month, or I don't like to call it a bad month. Let's say I have a character building month, okay, where things don't go my way. I'm not going to react to it today. I'm going to respond to, okay, I had a bad month, character building month. Okay, let's do an evaluation. What didn't I do well this month? What didn't I do right? I will start to look and find, okay, did I talk to this person the wrong way? Did my marketing strategy not work the way that I wanted to? Am I posting these things at the wrong time? Should I change my approach? Like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to evaluate. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that ability to see the problem. I'm going to find out why that problem happened. I'm going to create a plan and then I'm going to execute next month and then go out next month and potentially, do my best to figure out a way to have a better month. Okay. And next month, I'll go out and I'll have a better month. And if I don't, let's say for whatever reason, same thing again. I'll figure out what happened. I'll find out why. I'll diagnose the problem. I'll create a new plan and then I'll go attack it and seek mentorship. Okay. And this is what it's all about. You got to be able to adjust your way to success. And when you go from a bad miss to a good miss, then that means that you just learned something. And that's key, right? It's like, when you fix your shot, you were missing the ball, you were missing the basket, but now you're hitting the shot. Now you're making the ball, right? You realize, man, I was missing, but now I'm making the ball, right? It shows you a lot about that. And you really, really need to see it. Okay. You can't get lost in what's happening. All right. You got to know that everything is happening for you, not to you. So understand the difference between good misses and bad misses will give you a great return on failure. Let's go to number three. Number three is you got to embrace hard. Embrace that it's going to be hard. Embrace it. Why? Because everything worthwhile is uphill. All your dreams are uphill all the way. Okay. And you got to remember this. This is very key. Most people have uphill dreams with downhill habits. Okay. People have uphill dreams, but downhill habits. How are you ever going to be able to accomplish the success? All right, guys, let's get this call started. I'm super excited. That was a good one right there. Uphill dreams, uphill dreams with downhill habits. Amazing. Well, Grand Rising Familia, happy Tuesday. I am super excited to be here with each and every single one of you guys. I'm looking forward to today's call. It's always a special call every time we get a chance to, jump on mornings with Nano. It's always a pleasure. It's always something I look forward to because I love being on YouTube as well and pouring into the family. Guys, let's take this time real quick, send it out to friends, family members, anybody on your team, organization. I think it'll be a great time for us to, share this and put this out there. I know we got a lot of people hopping on. We got some people here on Instagram on already hopping on. I think we got over 100 already on today's call. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I pray everybody's having a phenomenal morning. I'm very excited. I'm feeling really good. Woke up blessed this morning, woke up excited. And for those who don't know, I'm in Arizona right now. I'm on tour. As you guys know, I'm always traveling the world. And, but regardless of my travels, I always do my best to get these calls in.
As long as my call is not at the same time as my flight, you best believe that I'm going to be doing this call. So, I'm very happy to be here. I'm at my brother's house, and I'm going to be here for another couple of days before we go up to Los Angeles. And then from Los Angeles, we fly to Seattle for the last couple of days of the tour. So I got about another week or so on tour before I have to ride back home. But taking advantage of it. I love the travels. I love to visit new cities, new markets. We're growing all over the world, and people are very excited about everything that we have going on, and it's going to be a great day today. So let's talk about success. Let's talk about growth here. I want to talk about one of my favorite topics. I talked about it briefly the other day, but someone asked me, they're like, "Yo, I think we should do that full training again." You briefly talked about it the other day, but I wanna get the full training from the top again because it's such a powerful training. And what I want to talk to you guys about today are the 6 phases of growth. And the reason why I want to talk to you guys about it is because I want you to identify in what phase of growth you're in. Okay, every single one of us, we're all on our journey to grow, right? Can everybody type grow in the chat box if you are on your growth journey right now? If you're on your growth journey, you're focusing on becoming a better version of yourself, whether it's in the mental side of things, whether it's in the spiritual side of things, whether it's in your emotional side of things, financially, right? Every single one of us, we're looking to grow in either a specific area in our lives, or we're looking to grow in all areas of our lives, right? And there's a phase that each area goes through when you go through these growth periods. And I want to teach you guys a little bit about these phases, because when I understood this phase, it helped me understand where I was at and what I needed to do to continue to grow. Okay. And I think that this can help you guys out. If you've heard this training before, great. You get to hear it for a second time. But if this is your first time listening to it, and you're here today and you're like, well, Nano, I'm really focused on my growth. I'm really focused on becoming a better version of myself. I want to teach you the different phases of growth that you can leverage to your ability, and helping you understand why you go through these specific phases in your journey. Okay. So there's 6 phases of growth. Let's get right into today's call because I'm excited for this one. Okay. So let's jump into number one. But before we jump into number one, I just want to make sure we all are clear on the house rules real quick. Okay. House rule number one is take notes real quick. All right. I want you guys to take notes. Please don't be the person that's on this call not taking notes. All right. I want you guys to take notes. So, number one, take notes because it is a proven fact that you will forget a vast majority of this. Number two is make sure that you turn off any distractions, any devices of distractions, so that you can lock in with me. We're only going to be here for about 30 minutes. Okay. And then, house rule number three is listen with the intention to apply. At the end of this call, you will understand what phase you're in your growth journey. And I want you to identify it, and I want you to start growing in that specific area so we can grow in that area. All right. So let's get started with this. Okay. I hope we're all clear on that. So let's get right into phase one of growth. Okay. I want you guys to all write this down. Phase one of growth is called the rejection phase. Okay. The rejection phase is the first phase of growth. Now, the rejection phase is a very beautiful phase. And let me explain to you guys why. Because it's the phase that is going to help build your character. Okay. I like to call the rejection phase the character builder. All right. Now, there's something I want to mention in this phase though. Majority of people quit in this phase as well. So it's an amazing phase for those who are looking to build their character, but it's also going to be a humbling phase for people who come in thinking that they can figure everything out. You see, when you start anything new for the very first time, you go through rejection. You go through things not always going your way because a lot of the times you've never done this before. All right. You've never worked that job. You've never worked this business. All right. You've never read a book. Okay. You've never meditated before. You haven't been to the gym in a long time. All right. So when you first start anything, you go through what's called a rejection phase. Okay. A phase where, you don't have it all figured out and you get rejected a lot. And rejection just doesn't have to deal with, when I talk about rejection, I'm not just talking about talking to somebody and somebody telling you no. Rejection could be, you failing at something, you not being able to do something as well. Okay. You know, not feeling good about delivering a specific message, or saying something the certain way, right? Like, you're gonna deal with rejection. So to just give you guys some example, right, and I'll give you guys multiple examples. When I first got into the industry of sales, network marketing, I dealt with a lot of rejection at the very beginning. Okay, because when in the beginning, when I started, I had never done this business before. So when I started, when I started, I didn't understand it too much. So when I would go and talk to my friends about what I did, I always got a lot of, no, I'm good. That doesn't work. It's a scam, so on and so forth. I used to get all the rejection from the business, right? Because in the beginning, I wasn't good at what I was doing. So in the beginning, you face a lot of rejection on those side of things, okay, which was very difficult, okay? Another thing I dealt with rejection in was when I first started doing a morning routine. Okay, my body was rejecting the idea of a morning routine because I wanted to start working on myself every morning. But I went from being a person that used to like waking up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. to now waking up at 6 a.m., right? So I'm taking away 3 hours of sleep from my body. So my body is rejecting this. It's hard for me to wake up, okay, in the morning. I'm fighting to wake up in the morning because it's like, man, I'm somebody that's used to wake up at 9, right? But now I'm waking up at 6. That's 3 hours of sleep that my body, is not getting and that it was used to getting. But I want to get better. I want to wake up earlier so that I can work on myself. In the beginning, I dealt with a lot of rejection with my body. My body was rejecting the idea. Okay, my body was rejecting the idea of reading books. Okay, I was rejecting that idea because I didn't really like to read. When I would meditate, it was so hard for me to meditate. Okay, because I would try to, sit in silence. When somebody first tells you to practice meditation, you go and try meditation and you're like, okay, let me do this meditation. Let me close my eyes, let me open my hands, and you close your eyes. But the thing is, you can't get your mind to stop. Has that ever happened to somebody where you start meditating and for some reason you can't get your mind to stop thinking and it's just nonstop? You can't get it to like just calm and be relaxed and present at the moment, right? It happens, right? It happens. That's called rejection. Okay, it's called rejection. It's something to everybody. It happens to all of us. So we all go through rejection, even when you're learning a new skill. Think about it, right? If you've never done any skill, think about any skill that you want to learn. Whether you want to learn how to, be a creative director, take pictures and videos, you're gonna deal with rejection, right? You want to learn how to play a sport, right? I've never played, I've played football, I've played basketball, I've played baseball, but I've never played soccer, for example, right? If I were to go into a soccer field right now, all right, the first phase I'm gonna deal with is the rejection phase because I'm not gonna know what to do. I'm not gonna be the best at it. Yeah, I could be taught how to do the certain kicks and how to do certain things, but I'm still gonna deal with the rejection at the beginning of it, which is gonna be the failed attempts. There's a lot of failed attempts at the beginning when it comes to anything that you do new. And that's what's difficult for a lot of people is that when you start anything, there's going to be at the beginning of everything that you start, for the most part, there's going to be a lot of failed attempts. It's difficult. You've never done it before. You're not an expert at this. Okay. So we all deal with rejection in our businesses. We deal with rejection in our lives. We deal with rejection in our spiritual abilities and our emotions. We deal with a lot of rejection at the beginning because whenever you want to change, whenever you want to grow, okay, because your body and because your mind is so used to being one way, the moment that you try to change it, it rejects it because it's so used to it being a certain way, right? That's how it is, guys. It almost, even like, for example, even the idea of going to the gym after not going to the gym for a while, for me as an example, right? There was a period that I didn't go to the gym at all, okay? But I knew I had to start going. So I let myself go for a little bit. And then when I would try to even think about going to the gym, or when I would, even go to the gym once, my body would reject the idea of the gym. My mind would be like, nah, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to get sore. I don't feel like going. I don't feel like walking to the gym. I don't feel like, you know, you start to reject it. Remember, because my body and my mind, they got so used to not going to the gym that when I started entertaining the idea of going to the gym, my mind and body rejected it. That's why one of my favorite quotes right now is, the heaviest weight at the gym is the door, right? The heaviest weight at the gym is the door, because the hardest thing is getting there. Once you're there, you're there. You get to work on it. So, in the beginning, whenever we all choose to grow in any area in our lives, we're always going to deal with the rejection. Think about it. Even when we do our best, for example, somebody that does their best to change their diets, right? Somebody who is eating everything and then wants to now become a vegan, or wants to become now an alkaline diet, right? Think about that. The first times you go and do this, your body might reject some of those vegan meals, some of those alkaline meals, because you're not used to that. Your body's not adjusted to it. It may even make you feel, when you eat these foods, it may not even make you feel good in the beginning, because your body is not used to it. It's called the rejection phase. It is a natural instinct of your body to reject things that you are not used to. All right. So I want you guys to understand that this is the level of growth. These are the phases of growth in a lot of different areas. Now, before I continue to phase two, all right, I want you guys to understand that most people do fail here. Most people don't make it here because a lot of people don't like to fail. People don't like failed attempts. Nobody likes to fail. Nobody likes to be told no. Nobody likes to stick it all the way through until you're able to figure it out, right? It's a difficult phase to be at. Rejection is a difficult phase to be at. But this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Write this down. Rejection is redirection. All right. Rejection is redirection. Don't ever look at rejection as a bad thing. Rejection is a good thing. It's just redirecting you to where you need to go in order for you to have the success that you need. So everybody that tells you no, it's okay. Every failed attempt that you have, it's okay. Okay. Every time you feel that your body is rejecting an idea, or, it's rejecting an action, then you should take that action, because, at the end of the day, you just want to redirect yourself. Okay. You want those failed attempts. Failure is your stepping stone to where you want to go to. So, just real quick, right? Put a one in the chat box if you've dealt with any rejection at some point this year. Has anybody been dealing with any rejection with what they're doing currently? Or have you dealt with rejection with the spiritual side of success? Have you dealt with rejection in, your business, with food, with the gym? I know a lot of people who have dealt with rejection with even building their relationship with God. I know a lot of people, for example, I'll give you guys an example of this. Um, I know a lot of people who only like to talk to God when they need something, right? They only like to talk to God when they need something. So what happens is they start calling out God, they start praying to God, and God is not responding. Why? Because you only go to Him when you need something. So you start praying, and then there's no answer, there's no response. You understand why you're getting rejected now, because you only go when you need something. Am I saying that He's not going to ever respond? No, He'll respond, but He wants to see that you're serious about it. Okay. So we got to understand this, guys. All right. We're always going to go through rejection. Even in relationships, you're going through rejection, right? I don't know about you guys, but you ever talk to a girl or a guy, and especially for my guys on here, but you ever go and talk to the girl and then the girl ends up rejecting you? That's part of growth, bro. Right? I don't know about you guys, but I've had conversations where I got rejected many times as well. So and then next thing you know, you go into the next phase. So everything changes, guys. But I just want you guys to understand this, because I in the chat, a lot of you guys put once, right? It happens to ladies, so yeah, I'm sure, right? But I want you guys to understand this, because this is the phases that we all go through. This is the phases to growth that we all experience. So the first phase is the rejection phase. Okay, that's the first phase. Most people fail in this phase. Don't be the one that fails here. Now the second phase is what we like to call the progress phase. Now you're making progress. Okay. Now everybody that you're talking to is not saying no. Now you got a couple of people to say yes, right? Now, you went from not going to the gym, you went from not going to the gym to now going to the gym, 1, 2, or 3 times a week now, right? You're making progress in that area, right? The girl that once rejected you, now she's texting you back, right? You're making some progress, right? Everything is aligning, right? You went from not praying to God and not having a relationship with God to now reading the Bible, going to church, doing so on and so forth, right? So you start to make progress. Okay, now you're making progress. For my traders, right? I know we have people in here that trade as well. Okay, you know how it is in the beginning when you're getting that rejection phase, you're not really winning trades or things are not going your way. But now you're in that progress phase where now you're taking trades and you're actually making money. The trades are actually going in the direction that you said that they were going to go. So now you're making progress. And the progress phase is a good place to be, because nobody wants to just fail, 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 fail. You want to also make progress. It's like when you start a new job. In the beginning, you don't understand how to do something, but eventually you pick it up and you start to understand how things go, and then you start to make progress. You're making progress. Everything is getting better. All right. We all deal with this. Okay. Even parents, you go from never being a parent in your life, and in the beginning it's a lot of rejection. You don't know what you're doing. You've never had a baby. It's difficult. But then after a while, you kind of start getting the hang of it, right? You start making somewhat progress. It's still hard, obviously, because being a parent is difficult regardless. But after a while of doing it and dealing with with everything that comes with being a parent, eventually you start to make somewhat of progress. So the progress phase is a really good place to be. Okay. The progress phase is a really great place to be. In the gym, you start to see progress. For example, me right now, I would say when it comes to my gym phase, okay, when it comes to my gym phase, I would say I'm in like phase 2 or 3. I'll go into 3 next, right? But I'm in like phase 2 or 3 where I'm in that progress phase. I got out of the rejection phase when it came to the gym. My body was rejecting it. My mind was rejecting it because it was just so comfortable with not going to the gym and not being in pain and not being sore, that my body, for some reason, guys, I couldn't get myself to go to the gym, which is crazy because I've always loved the gym. But because sometimes we go through these seasons where we don't prioritize our bodies, we don't prioritize our healths, I almost lost myself in that. Okay. So for a while, I couldn't get myself to go to the gym, even if you paid me. It's crazy how that works. And now I can't go a day without going to the gym. Like, it's funny how that all works. It's just a shift of mindset. So right now, I'm in that progress phase. Okay, where I'm making progress. I'm going three to 5 times a week. I feel my body getting stronger. I feel my triceps getting bigger. My chest is growing, right? I'm losing some belly fat, so my six pack is coming around the corner, right? I'm getting compliments. I'm in that progress phase. All right. This is where you want to be at, because that means you're growing. When you start leveling up from phase to phase, that means that you're growing. All right. I remember when I started my business, like I told you guys, in the beginning, I was getting rejected by a lot of my friends. Nah, bro, I'm good. It doesn't work. It's not for me. But as I kept going and as I stayed consistent, eventually what happens is Okay, now some of these people are saying yes. All right. Some of these people do want to get started. They do want to learn more. All right. So we all go through this progress phase. And remember, these are the phases of growth in all areas of our lives. So this is what it's all about right here. Okay. A lot of us go through, I went through a progress phase as well recently with my finances. Okay. I was so bad with finances. Okay. Because I never had financial management back in the days. So when I started making money, I would get money, spend it, get money, spend it, get money, spend it, get money, spend it. But then I learned something very valuable. Okay. Because that's a rejection phase, if you believe it or not, because I'm rejecting the idea of investing. I'm rejecting the idea of saving money. Believe it or not, our minds reject those ideas naturally because we're not used to them. So I started to reject those ideas. And what I realized was that, I'm making all this money, but in reality, I end up broke again. So I'm no different than the person that's making $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month, that at the end of the day ends up, broke because I was doing the same thing. Regardless of if I was making more money or not, I was doing the same thing because yeah, I could make 10,000, 15,000, but I was spending the same amount. So I was like, Nano, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's not how we're gonna make progress in life. And but it was because I was rejecting the idea of saving money. I was rejecting the idea of investing money. And I just wanted to, whatever, if I made more money, I wanted to spend more money. Okay. I wanted to spend more. I wanted to do more. And I just kind of lost myself in it. And it was because I was rejecting the idea. That's called the rejection phase. But then I started to make progress. I said, okay, moving forward, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn how to live off of 70% of what I make. Okay. So let's say I'm making $10,000 a month. Okay. I told myself I'm going to learn to live off of $7,000 a month. I'm going to act like I'm really making $7,000 a month so I can do this. What I would do was I would pay myself every month. I would pay myself 10%. Every month I would pay that. That was for me. So the moment I got paid, I would take 10% of that, $1,000, put it to the side. That's for Nano. Okay. And then the other 20%, I would put it into a savings account. Okay. And that's what I started to do. I said, you know what? I'm going to start learning how to live off of 70%. But I had to practice it. This is the progress phase. So I started to do that for a couple of months. I did it for 3 months. That's now me having progress. I'm going to pay myself, Nano, 10%. Here's $1,000 for you. And then I'm going to put 20% of it in a savings account. So I pay myself 1,000, put 2,000 in a savings account. And then I will live off of the 7,000. The 7,000 was for my rent, for my travels, for, food, blah, 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 blah. And I started making progress. So instead of making 10 and spending 10, I started making 10, spending 7, saving 2, and paying myself 10. You see the difference, right? It's called progress. Now I'm making progress. Okay. And it's like that with everything, right? And like I said, it's like I'm explaining it to you guys in different aspects of it so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. All right. You want to get into the progress phase because you want to get to the point where you're happy with yourself. The rejection phase, it sucks a little bit because nobody, like I said, nobody likes to be rejected. It sucks to, fail and have failed attempts after failed attempts and these things. It doesn't feel good. So you want to learn how to you want to learn how to do certain things so you can start making progress in those areas. I remember when I started making progress in building my relationship with God, you start to feel like an energy around you when you start making progress with God. I remember in the beginning when I first started, it was difficult. It was like I was praying, I was reading the word, I was doing all of this, and it was almost like nothing was hitting, right? It was almost like there was how do I explain it? It was almost like an empty feeling almost to explain it. It was like, yes, I was doing it, but I wasn't seeing no real results from it. I wasn't seeing anything. But the more that I did it, the more that I did it, the more that I did it, I started to feel this energy around me. The more that I read the word, the more that I prayed every morning, the more that I practiced my gratitude, the more that I gave glory, the more that I made it a priority, every single day. It was like, then I started to have this feeling around me that I was like, yo, this is awesome. It's like an aura. It's like, yeah, Daniel, it's like you're floating almost. And, the vibration feels different. You just wake up in a different mood. When you go outside, it almost feels like you have a security guard with you, but he's not. You can't see him physically, but he's there. It almost feels like every step you take is aligned. You don't feel off. If anything doesn't go your way, you're almost like, well, that was just God telling me that that's not meant for me. And you learn to like take things a little bit less serious and a little bit less personal. And you just kind of like, how they say, Jesus take the wheel. It almost feels like that. But guess what? That was the progress phase when I was building that relationship. And this is what it's all about, guys. You got to remember this. All right. Anybody in their progress phase, put a 2 in the chat box. If you are in your progress phase right now, with a specific area in your life, whether it's the gym, whether it's your business, whether it's your trading, whether it's your being a parent, whether it's your relationship with God, what are you in that progress phase in a specific area in your life? Right? I know I'm in that progress phase. I told you guys, I'm in that progress phase right now with the gym. Okay. I'm making progress right now. I feel the progress that I'm making in the gym right now. It feels good to have this progress in the gym. It feels amazing, honestly. Okay. Because like I said, nobody wants to be in the rejection phase forever. Nobody. So when you start making progress, it feels good. It feels amazing when you're making progress, right? Somebody said right here, my boy Stack Boy said, I'm in the progress phase with life overall. And that's the truth. Anybody else just like him, right? Me too. I feel like I'm in that progress phase as well for a lot of areas in my life, right? That's number 2. Now, number 3 is the results phase. Number 3 is the results phase. This is a good phase to be. Okay, this is where you want to be. Okay, we want to get to the results phase. What is the results phase? It's really self-explanatory. You're getting results. Body's looking good. You lost the weight that you told yourself you were gonna lose, right? You're getting the sales in your business that you've been wanting to get. You're making more money. You saved that amount of money. That was one of the things that I did when I started to save more money. I had a goal to save a certain amount of money, and now, I got there. I saved that certain amount of money. Right? I said I wanted to save 20K. I saved 20K. I got it. Right? I said I wanted to win this amount of trades. I won those amount of trades. I said I wanted to, I wanted to have 10 new people join my business. 10 new people join my business. Okay. I said I wanted to have a better relationship with God. I have that relationship with God. I can feel it. Can you be in more than one phase in a different area? Yeah, you can. It all depends. Right? That's what I want to feel, Jamie. I feel you. I feel you. I've been there. Okay. This is the phase that we all want to get to. Okay. Manita was goody. We all want to get to the results phase. We all want to get here. All of us strive to get results in our lives. Nobody wants to do something every day and not get results. We all know that. You want to get results in your business. You want to get results with your investments. You want to get results for your body. You want to get results for your mind. You want to get results in your spiritual aspect of life. We all want results. But remember, we can't skip the phases. That's the thing. I was talking to this guy the other day on the phone. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with him yesterday. No, 2 days ago. And I kept telling him, I'm like, he's like, bro, I just want to make money. I just want to make money. But I'm like, yo, bro, first, you need to invest so that you can learn. But he was like, nah, bro, like I just want to get in and make money now. But I'm like, bro, what you're understanding is that you got to come in first. You need to invest into the education, and then we start learning so that then you can start making money. But he was like, nah, bro, I just want to make money. I don't want to go through the learning and the stuff. And I'm like, bro, you can't skip the steps. Sometimes we have this natural ability to want to skip steps. We can't skip steps, guys. You have to go through the steps. if you have to go through your rejection phase, you got to go through your progress phase, and eventually it'll take you to the results phase. Don't ever try to skip. Go through the phases that comes with it. All right. Now, when you get here, you're going to feel good because guess what? The results are going to feel a lot better because guess what? You went through the phases. You dealt with a lot of rejection. You went through a progress phase that was really awesome. And now you're getting results. You're getting results in your body, you're getting results in your business, you're getting results with your job, with whatever area that you choose. You're getting those results, and there's nothing better than this, because the reason why the results phase is so powerful is because this is a huge confidence booster and a huge belief builder. It's a huge confidence builder and it's a huge belief builder. Huge. You want to be here because now think about it. There's nothing better than getting results. Nothing better. The trades you're taking are making you money now. The people you're talking to are now joining your business. The weight that you said you were going to lose, you lost it, right? The body, the muscles you said you were going to build, you built them. All right. The relationship with God you said you were going to build is solid now. It's good. You're being consistent with it, right? It feels good to get results, but a lot of the results comes from the small, consistent daily actions done over a period of time. All right. I'm going to repeat that again. The results come from the consistent daily actions done over a period of time. We don't know when the results are going to come. It may take you a month to get results. It may take you 3 months for you to get the results. It may take you 6 months. Okay. But the important thing is that you do it until you get them. Right. You got to keep going, doing the day-to-day actions until you get them. That's so important, guys. Very important for all of us to understand. Because what ends up happening is this, guys, if we don't make it a priority, all right, if we don't make it a priority to do the daily actions every day, then that's why we never get the results. If you're wondering, well, no, how come I haven't ever got the results? What's stopping me from getting the results? What's stopping you from getting the results is completing the day-to-day actions over long periods of times. The daily mundane task. Can you do them over a long period of time until you get those results? Because that's the name of the game. All right. The results tell the final story. So you want to get in the habit of doing things consistently over a period of time until you get the results, right? Because like I said, there's 6 phases to growth. The first phase is the rejection phase. You're going to deal with rejection. Is it always going to happen? No, but for the most part, most people, when they start anything new and they do anything new, you're going to get rejection. Okay. Then you're going to go through what's called a progress phase, where you're making somewhat of progress. Then you'll get to the results phase, where now you're getting the results consistently over a period of time. You're building belief, you're building confidence in yourself, you're feeling good about yourself. What was once, think about it, you were once rejecting to wake up at 6 a.m. Now you wake up at 6 a.m. with no alarm clock. You were once rejecting the idea of going to the gym. Now you're going to the gym 5 days a week, 6 days a week without missing. You were once being told no for people to join your business. Now, every 5 to 10 people you talk to, people join your business. Right? Now you're making real results. There's no better feeling than this. Okay? And this is where I'm at, towards right now. I'm in that progress phase, heading into that results phase when it comes to the gym, where it's going to get to the point where the results are going to be visual. They're going to be very visible. The body that I wanted to build, I'm not going to say I'm at the results phase yet. I'm not. I'm going to say I'm in that progress phase. I'm not exactly where I want to be at yet. I think it's going to take me at least another couple months before I get to the results phase. My goal is to get there by the end of October, which is we're going to Cabo for our chairman retreat. And I want to be able to look good out there while we're in Cabo, look good, take my shirt off on the beach, the whole nine. All right. but that's where we're at, right? So you kind of have to understand where you're at when it comes to the results phase. So put a 3 in the chat if you're in the results phase in a specific area in your life. Anybody here in the results phase? Maybe you're getting results in a specific area in your life. Everything is working in your favor. Okay. It's going to take time, right? Understand that it's going to take time here in the results phase. And time, as we all know, time, TIME, stands for things I must experience. Things I must experience. You're going to have to go through experiences. All right. You're going to have to go through experiences, and that's fine. The more experiences you collect, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, and the more progress you make consistently, eventually is going to lead to results. So that's number 3. Number 4, the the fourth phase of growth. There you go. Got it. The fourth phase is the leadership phase. Okay. This is where now we say it's not about what you can do, it's about what you can teach. Okay. It's not about what you can do, it's about what you can teach. Yes, you got the results. Great. Yes, you're making money. Great. Yes, you lost this weight. Yes, you did this. Yes, 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 yes. You did it. Okay. But remember, your success is not measured by what you can do. Your success is measured by what you can do for others. That's the key. So now you're in a leadership phase where now it's about what you can teach others. Can you teach somebody else how to do what you're doing? Can you teach somebody else how to get sales? Can you teach somebody else how to build a relationship with God? Can you teach somebody else how to lose 10, 20 pounds? Can you teach somebody else how to have a solid morning routine? Can you teach somebody else how to, heal from their traumas, right? Can you teach someone else now? Because remember, it's not about what you can do. It's about what you can teach. So it's cool. You got results. Great. Amazing. But it's not about you. All right. It's not about you. It's about what you could do for somebody else. That's the name of the game. What can you do for someone else? That's the name of the game. Can you teach someone else how to do it? Can you teach it? That's all that matters. Think about it. Parents go through this phase where they got to teach their kids right from wrong. We all go through leadership phases in our lives. We got to teach our brothers and sisters right from wrong. We got to teach our leaders and students in our business right from wrong. Okay? We all become leaders in our lives. One way or another, we all learn to become leaders, especially parents. All right? So now it's about what you can teach. Cool, you made money, but can you teach someone how to make that money as well? Fine, you made 10 sales this month. Great, but can we teach somebody else how to do it? Amazing, you lost 10 pounds. You built all this great muscle, Nano. But can you teach somebody how to do it? You have a beautiful morning routine, but can we teach it now? Can you impact somebody else with what you've learned? That's the name of the game. And this is what I want you guys to understand. This is key. The leadership phase is a very important phase, guys. This is what helps you guys get to those bigger levels. Because here, this is what's going to help you do something called duplication. You're going to be able to duplicate yourself now. And duplication is a very, very important place to be. Because if you were able to get the results and then you can teach others how to get the results, then now you're developing leaders, you're developing results in other people. Because remember, now it's your job to walk somebody through the first 3 phases. Because now, let's say I'm like, all right, guys, let's say I was to come and teach you guys something that you guys have never done before. Let's say all of you guys on this call had never done sales before. And I'm like, all right, guys, let me come and teach you guys how to do sales. I know that now that you guys start, you guys are going to deal with rejection. So guess what? As a leader, I'm going to teach you guys about the rejection phase. I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, look, this is what you're gonna deal with. You're gonna probably deal with some rejection in the beginning. I'm gonna prepare you for it. I'm gonna let you know, hey, look, this is the rejection phase. This is what comes with doing sales. Okay. Then I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna guide you, I'm gonna show you the tips and tricks. I'm gonna show you how to handle objections. I'm gonna show you how to pick up the phone, how to build relationships, how to build rapport, all of this stuff. Bam, 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 bam. Then next thing you know, you're gonna be making progress. Now you're going to be closing those sales, those deals, so on and so forth, right? And then you're going to get to the point where then you're getting results. Okay, you're getting results, you're getting results, you're getting results, and then eventually you're going to be the one now, because you're getting results, Linda, because you're getting results, Sophia, because you're getting results, Kathy. Then you're going to get into your leadership phase. You're going to get into your leadership phase. But the reason why I'm in my leadership phase is to teach people who are now starting at the rejection phase. Because remember, you got through the rejection phase. Okay. You got through the rejection phase. So that's the key. You got through it. You were able to go through it. So now you can teach somebody else how to do it. You go through what you go through so that you can be qualified to help somebody else in the future go through the same thing. That was something my mentor always told me. He said, Neno, don't complain about what you're going through. One day, somebody's going to go through the exact same thing, and you're going to be the one that's going to help them get through that. That's the reality. So don't complain that you're going through what you're going through, regardless of how hard it is. One day, you're going to have to teach somebody how to get through something that you're going through as well, bro. And I remember that. So I never really got mad at the fact that I went through certain things in life. Right? When I lost business partners, I was like, okay, one day I'm going to have to teach somebody how to do it. And you know what's the funny thing about it? Everything that I've ever gone through, I've met somebody at some point in their journey that I've had to teach them how to get through it. At one point, what I thought was horrible, what I once thought was so difficult for me to go through, at some point in my life, I had to teach somebody else how to get through it. I had to teach somebody else how to develop a morning routine. I had to teach somebody else how to deal with, building their business. But I have to teach people how to develop a better relationship with God, right? I went through a heartbreak recently as well, right? I had to teach one of my leaders how to go through his heartbreak, right? I had to teach people how to go through certain things, right? Because now I've become that leader. Okay. So when you become a leader, right, you have to you go through things, and sometimes we complain and we get down on ourselves, but in reality, you're going through what you're going through so that one day you can be a teacher to somebody that's going to be going through the exact same thing. I'm telling you, believe it or not. You might complain about it. It may suck. It may not be what you want to go through, but you're only going through it because at one point in your life, you're going to make sure that you are a teacher to somebody, because they're going to be in that phase where they're going to need you. They're going to be in that rejection phase where they're going to go through tough times. And guess what? You're going to be that person that was like, yo, I've been through that. Let me show you what I did. This is how I was thinking. This is the book I read. This is the routine I followed. This is the strategy I applied. And now guess what? You're going to help somebody else go through that. And let me tell you guys something. And if you guys have ever been through this, right, you guys can all agree with me. There's nothing better. There's not a better feeling in the world than helping somebody else get through a challenge or overcome a battle that they were battling. There's not much feelings in the world better than helping somebody else. Would you guys agree with me? For people who have helped somebody else, have you ever helped somebody else and somebody came to you and were like, yo, thank you so much. Because of you, you changed my life. Because of you, I'm making more money. Because of you, now I'm able to, have a better relationship with God. Because of you, I'm able to retire my parents. Because of you, I was able to, help this person, that person. I'm able to put my kids in private school now. That's true fulfillment right there, guys. There's no better. You guys ever wonder why I do mornings with Nano still 5 years later? 5 years later, you guys ever wonder why I still do these calls no matter what, no matter how many people have been on it or have hopped off on it or whatever? The reason why I do it is because of the fulfillment that I get from helping other people. There's so much fulfillment that I get from seeing other people grow and become better versions of themselves and growing into the leaders that I know that they can become. And I know what it was like not to have somebody in my life that was helping me and guiding me and willing to pour into me. So I do this because I love this. I'm in that leadership phase. Right now in my life, I'm in the leadership phase right now. I'm working on getting to the fifth phase of my life, okay, which we're going to talk about now. But, the leadership phase is a beautiful phase to be, guys. Embrace this phase. You're the example. You have to change your ways as well in the leadership phase because remember, now you're the leader, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I made a lot of mistakes as a leader, many mistakes. You see, because the thing is that a big mistake that people make is that people think that just because you're a leader now, you can't still deal with rejection. Nah, even as a leader, I deal with rejection. And when you're put in that leadership position, remember, you have a lot of eyes on you. You have a lot of people looking to you to be the example now. So you have to move different. You got to dress different. You got to speak different. You got to handle situations different. As a leader, you also have to become a professional problem solver. Okay? So, there's so many things that, are now put on you because you are that leader. So you also got to keep this in mind. Yes, leadership is also about teaching and helping other people, but leadership is also about being the example, doing things the right way, understanding that 90% of leadership goes unnoticed a lot as well. I want you guys to know that 90% of leadership goes unnoticed. What do I mean by that? A lot of the things that you guys do, people are not going to notice it. And that's okay. You got to keep that in mind. And the 10% that we do get recognized for, we end up giving it away anyways. So don't look for recognition in business. Don't look for recognition when it comes to leadership. You'll get it, don't get me wrong, but a lot of what you go through, all right, a lot of what you go through, 90% of it will go unnoticed. And the 10% that you do get recognized for, you'll end up giving it away because you'll end up giving it away to the team. It wasn't all on me, it was a team. You guys ever seen a leader do that? Right? You ever seen a leader get recognized and they right away give all the credit and they give all the glory to God, they give all the glory to the team? That's what happens. That's usually what happens. Okay? And 90% of what that leader does goes unnoticed. They don't see everything that leader goes through. Okay? They don't see how much sacrifices that leader made, how many early mornings, how many late nights, how many no's, how many ups and downs that leader went through that nobody ever saw. Yeah, they only see the stages, they see the money, they see the clothes, they see the accomplishments, but they don't see all the struggles that some of those leaders go through. I know that there's people listening to this right now on this call that have gone through incredible tough times, but nobody saw those. Nobody gave him credit for, hey, yo, I saw you go through that tough time and you made it out. You know how many tough times I've gone through that I never got credit for? Not that I was looking for it, but I just know. And I'm sure some of you guys on this call and for my people on Instagram as well, I'm sure you guys have gone through things that nobody ever gave you credit for. You went through a dark time in your life where you were doubting yourself and when things weren't going the way that you want them to. And eventually you made it out. Nobody saw it. God was there. God was there with you. Facts. Oh, God did it all, right? But nobody ever came and said to you, hey, yo, congratulations on making it through that dark time in your life. Nobody came and brought you an award, right? And was like, hey, here you go. Why do they say that? That's what I'm saying. 90% of leadership goes unnoticed. People don't see it. And then, like I said, the 10% that we do get recognized for, we give it away. Because I've been that person. 90% of what I've done goes unnoticed. And then when I do get recognized, yo, Nano, great job, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, nah, I got to give all the glory and thanks to God. And, the squad, I couldn't do it without the squad. That's leadership, though. That is leadership, though. That's what leadership ends up being. And that's the beauty of it as well. That's the beauty of it as well. So, just always think about that, guys. All of us in our lives, we're all leaders in one kind of shape, way, or form. Okay, so that's the fourth phase of growth, which is the leadership phase. The fifth phase is what I like to call the mastery phase. You could call it the mastery slash expert phase. And this is when, remember, how many hours does it take to be a master at anything? Right? What does it take to be a master at anything, guys? Let me know in the chat. How many hours does it take for you to be a master at anything in life, right? Whether it's a skill, whether it's a business, whatever it is, right? It takes 10,000 hours. Now, if you do the math, guys, for you to dedicate 10,000 hours to anything, and we're doing it at a minimal basis, you gotta think about going into something and dedicating at least 5 to 7 years with what, if you want to be an expert or a master at something, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because let me see something real fast. 10,000 hours, right? How long would it take you? I don't even know how to do the math on this. Actually, I'm trying to think about how if you want to divide, let's see, let me divide it by 7 years. Okay, so that's 1,400 hours in a year. And then if you divide that by 12, that's 119 hours a week. I mean, a month divided by 4. It's about, yeah. Doing it part-time, 30 hours a week. 30 hours a week for 7 years will get you 10,000 hours. That's about part-time. You divide that by 7, you're looking at about 4 hours. 4 hours a day, every day for 7 years will get you 10,000 hours at whatever skill that you decide to dedicate to. And that's assuming that you do 4 hours every day for 7 years. So just think about that. For you to be a master, for you to be an expert at anything. We're in phase 5 right now. Phase 5. The expert and mastery phase. So for example, myself, right? One thing that, I'm an expert, and I would say working on becoming an expert or master on, is network marketing. I love network marketing. Network marketing is my profession. I've been doing network marketing now I've been in network marketing for 7 years. I've been doing it professionally and good for a good 5 to 6 years. The first year I didn't really take it that serious. So I've really been doing network marketing for, I would say now, 5, 6 years that I could say I've been doing it solid for. Okay. So I'm still in that leadership, working on becoming a master phase. I'm working on becoming that master phase, all right, where I'm an expert at what I do. Okay. I don't feel like I'm an expert at what I do yet, because for me to be an expert at what I do at the leadership phase, I got to develop a lot of other leaders. That's when you know when you're a good expert, when you're able to not just duplicate just one success story, but multiple success stories. You're able to develop multiple success stories. I got multiple 6 and 7 figure earners in the business. That's when you know you're an expert at what you're doing, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for the right people in my business, in my life, that I can develop. Like that's the phase that I'm in right now. I'm looking for 5 to 10 people that I can mentor, and I can teach them everything that I know. The books to read, the routines to follow, how to develop themselves. I want to teach them everything so that I can help them become the next 6 and 7 figure earners. But it's finding the 5 to 10 people that are willing, who is willing to do it. Because there's one thing I can find. I mean, there's 10 people on this call, right? I can find 10 people on this call. It's just who is willing to do the work. Because it's easy to be like, yeah, no, I want to make 7 figures, but are you willing to do what it takes to become a 7 figure earner? Are you willing to put in the time, the energy, the effort, the sacrifices? Are you willing? You see? Because we can jump on this call and it can all sound good and so on and so forth, but it's the willingness. Because it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take money. It's going to take a lot of sacrifices. It's going to take a lot of going through the failures and the phases. You're going to have to go through rejection phase, progress phase, results phase, right? You're going to have to go through this. Okay. But if you are willing, I can teach people how to make seven figures because I'm going to make seven figures this year. By the end of this year, going into 2025, I would have made my first seven figures. And now I'm going to teach others how to do the exact same thing. That's my goal. I want to teach others. And then what? I'm following my mentor who's teaching me how to make eight figures. Eventually, I'll make eight figures and then I'll be teaching people how to make eight. So that's the name of the game. And this is where, obviously it takes time to get to this phase. As you guys can see, I'm not even yet at the mastery phase of this journey. And I've been doing this for a long time. So it just goes to show that it takes what? Time. All right. And then the last and final phase here is the sixth phase, which is what I like to call the legend phase. The legend phase is literally what you call it, right? The legend phase is, you've been in the game for 20 years. You're a legend in the game. Everybody knows you. You've created hundreds and thousands of success stories. You've made so much money. You travel the world. Everybody knows who you are. You've made such a big impact. You've mastered all the areas of your life. You're a perfect example. You're everything that, you're living your dream life. Basically, you're a legend. You think of legends, you think of people like Michael Jordan, you think of people like Kobe Bryant. You think of legends in any industry, right? That's what you become in whatever you're doing. The legend of any industry that you guys. I'm a big sports guy, so like Derek Jeter, shortstop for the Yankees, is a legend in my eyes. I'm a big Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant guy, Tom Brady, big sports guy. So I think of legends in the sports world. Okay, but I know that there's legends also in music. Jay-Z is a legend. Okay, Drake, in my opinion, is a legend. Right? Matt Rosa, my mentor in network marketing, is a legend in the industry. Okay, we have people that are legends in their specific industries, right? So you have to know what it took. And if you look at these people, everybody that I've mentioned, these are all people that have dedicated over 20 years to their craft. Okay, 20 years to their craft, guys. And that's the beauty of what we have going on here. Okay, is that eventually we want to get to that legend phase. But that legend phase, like I said, is when you've already dedicated years and years and years to the business end. You've created hundreds and thousands of success stories all around the world. You have all the accomplishments. You did everything that you said you were going to do, and it came true. All right, guys. So that right there is the end of today's call. Those are the 6 phases to growth, guys. The 6 phases to growth. So if you guys got value from today's call, type value in the chat box. If you guys got value from the phases of growth, right? Now that you understand the phases, now it's easy for you guys to pick and choose, right? What phase you're in. Okay. I know a lot of us on this call are in those phases, either for sure between 1 and 4. 1 and 4 for sure. A lot of us are in those phases. As a matter of fact, let me know in the chat box, what phase are you in? Let me know in the chat as well. As you're dropping value as well, let me know what phase you feel like you're in. Are you in phase 1? Are you in phase 2 going to 3? Are you in 3 going to 4? Are you in the 4 phase right now? Are you working on becoming a master? Where are you? I want to see where we at. I got some 3s going to 4. There we go, Eunice. 2 going to 3. Ileana's at phase 2. Pirate is in 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I love that. We always deal with all the phases. Okay. 2 going to 3. I just came in, so I missed it all. I'm sorry. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm willing and able. Just stick with me. 3 to 4. Let's go, Kathy. I'm here with you. Christy, I see you, sis. You on here with me. Phase 4. You're definitely phase 4 for sure. You're with me in phase 4. 3 going to 4. There we go. So we all see where we're at, and that's the beauty of, where we're at as an organization and as a team. And that's the beauty of it, guys. So one more time from the top, all 6 phases of growth, right? Number 1 is the rejection phase. Number 2 is the progress phase. Number 3 is the results phase. Number 4 is the leadership phase. Number 5 is the expert and mastery phase. And number 6 is the legend phase. Okay, the legend phase is when you got it. And remember, these phases apply to all areas of your life. In all areas, these phases can be applied. All right, guys. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys so much for hopping on today's call. We are officially done with tonight's call, not tonight's call, this morning's call. Remember, guys, I do these calls for free on YouTube on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. So, if you guys want to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe, show some love, leave a comment, leave a review. On top of that, also as well, I have a free podcast that you guys can listen to as well on Apple, on Spotify, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Sirius XM, right? We have it in all different areas. You guys can go listen to it. It goes by the name of Mornings with Neno, Neno for Nano. Okay, you guys can find me anywhere. You can Google it as well. It's all over. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Long Live Nano. Neno for Nano. All right, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I do a little prayer at the end of every call. So if you guys want to allow me to pray over you guys, I will. If you got to hop off, I also understand that. So just a quick prayer and we'll wrap it up right there. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, we want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We are so excited about the phases of growth and where we all are in our journey. We're so committed to becoming better versions of ourselves. We understand that in specific phases of our growth, we're going to deal with different challenges, but we are embracing the challenges and we love every challenge that comes with the journey because we know that every challenge is here to make us better, help us grow, and expose the areas in our life that are weak. So we are thankful for all that you're doing for us. Continue to strengthen us, continue to show us the path to becoming better versions of ourselves. And just thank you so much for keeping us healthy, keeping us together, allowing us to have access to this wisdom and this community that's growing together. We couldn't have asked for anything more. We're so blessed to have you in our corner. Keep holding our hands through this process. Let's go out and have a great day. And in God's name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. Identify what area and what phase you're in your growth, and let's grow. Let's keep elevating. Let's keep growing. Let's keep becoming better versions of ourselves. And just trust me when I tell you guys will be exactly where you want to be at ASAP, fam. God bless, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you, guys.